Per usual, I'm just kind of gonna grab easiest to hardest. One concealer I am not getting rid of is this baby. It is the Naked Skin Concealer. This is a tiny bit light for me, so it works really well in the days where my foundation might look a little dark and I want to brighten the center of my face and kind of help mesh it all together. But even that out of the way, it is a fantastic concealer. It really does a great job at concealing my dark under eye circles, and it also doesn't really crease under my eyes. I mean, any foundation or any concealer will crease to some extent because I have a lot of lines under my eyes, but this one, it definitely doesn't emphasize them and holds up really well, and I think just looks really nice every time I use it. This has been a favorite of mine, and I'm pretty sure I'm probably getting down there because I've been going hard with this for like well over a year, and I love it, so keeping. Another product that I am keeping is this Rimmel Match Perfect concealer. This is a really nice concealer, especially on the days when I'm in a hurry and I just need a one and done concealer. And then as you can see, I'm nearly done. So I just want to finish it up and move it out of my collection. No reason to throw it or pass it along to someone else when they have, you know, seriously, I'm almost there. But even besides this being affordable, it works really well for me, both to conceal my under eyes and then also just as a spot concealer. It's great every day. I don't notice lasting power being that amazing, but as I said, for everyday makeup, this is fantastic. Another fairly new addition to my collection is the No. 7 Radiant Glow Concealer. They sent me 3 different shades, and I have a review up on my blog. I can leave it linked down below, but this is the only shade that works for me, so I am going to put both of these into the pass pile and keep this. But it's really nice, a very light concealer. It really does give you that radiance under your eyes that you want in a concealer. Not too big on the concealing aspect if you really have heavy or dark under eyes, but really good at brightening. Another concealer that is going nowhere is the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer. This is a fantastic concealer, very full coverage. So if you really want a heavy duty full coverage concealer that is affordable at the drugstore, this is a fantastic one, and it lasts forever. Like, I'm not even halfway done and I've had this for well over a year, I think, and I really, really like it. I definitely recommend it, and I'm definitely keeping it. This is the only pot concealer I have. It's from IT Cosmetics. It's their Bye Bye Redness. I am going to keep this because this is relatively new purchase, but I wanted to get this for kind of my cheeks area because I get a lot of redness there just from acne or what have you that is going on, and I wanted to see if I could use this as kind of like a spot conceal for those areas and then just do powder over top kind of on the days where I didn't really want to mess with liquid foundations. So as I said, relatively new to my collection. I've only used it like I think once or twice, so don't have any thoughts, but I'm keeping it. All right, let's talk about these 2 minis. These are the Bye Bye Under Eyes, and this is the illumination version from IT Cosmetics. Whoops, I can't hold on to them. Let me see what shades these are in. This is neutral, medium, and this is medium. I'm going to be keeping this one because it works for me to spot conceal, and I'm going to pass this one along. Mainly because I'm not a big fan of the illumination version. I have oily skin. I don't need illumination. I just need a concealer that conceals and doesn't give me any kind of illumination because I like to use this for acne spots. All right, I have 2 color correctors, color correcting sticks from Smashbox. I'm just not a stick person. Like, these are great products, but I mean, can you tell that after I kind of reviewed them and decided my thoughts on them, I haven't yet never reached for them since. So I mean, I'm just not a stick concealer person. I really am not a color correcting person either. So I just don't grab these. So I'm going to pass them along so someone else who would like to color correct can use them. All right, let's talk about the Tarte Shape Tape. Everyone seems to love these, and I personally, when I first got these, I was trying to use them under my eyes like I see everyone else do, and I hated them. They were very thick, and I mean, it's very full coverage, but they were so thick, I would get so many lines under my eyes. It was unreal. Like, comparing it to this formula, like, this was amazing, and then this was just, it was way too heavy. And I discovered 2 things. One, I was applying way too much. So if you use this like you see in the Instagram tutorials where they just slather it in a big old V under your eyes, it's so pigmented. You don't need much. You really only need a drop. But two, I also discovered that I like this better for concealing acne spots. I just use a tiny little bit on the spot where I need to conceal, and that is all. I don't really reach for these for my under eyes ever. And I mean, if I do, I just use a lot less product and it doesn't crease as badly. But even then, I still don't like it because I feel like it makes my under eyes look dry when I use these. So this is my go-to concealer when I have a really red zit that I need to conceal. This does it really well, and so yeah, I like the Tarte Shape Tape for covering acne spots, but I don't need two colors. I think I originally bought this lighter version, light neutral, and to use because I want it under my eyes, and then I wanted to try it on my acne spots, so I needed something closer to my skin tone. And then I kept this because I did a friend's wedding and she was a lot lighter than me, so this worked for her. But at this point, I'm going to keep the one that matches my skin tone for the acne spots, and then I will be decluttering this lighter version. All right, Maybelline Fit Me. I really, really like this concealer. I am nearly done with this. This is a great light, but also gives you a lot of coverage when it comes to concealers. I think I bought this darker one because I wanted to try to cream contour with it because I was seeing people do it in Instagram tutorials. I think I might have tried to cream contour with it once. And I have found out I'm not a cream contour person, so I really don't know why I bought it in a darker color. That was just stupid and a waste of money. So I'm gonna get rid of this and keep this. Of course, I always need a Maybelline Fit Me in my collection. I love having it on hand, and this is looking a little empty, so I'm gonna have to make sure I have a backup in my collection for when this runs out. All right, let's talk about these Too Faced Born This Way concealers. I really liked these when they first came out. They were very light and they were very comparable to the Naked concealers and just like the level of how much I liked it. They worked really nice under the eyes and stuff like that, but I want to say like 3 or 4 months after, as I was using it every day, this part, for one, like I feel like there's some stopper or something missing. Sorry, you probably can't see that. But I feel like there's a stopper or something missing from this one just because it's so messy. But on top of that, this one, I believe, instead of like, this is how you open it. See, this one's not half as messy as the other one. Still a little, but still. Anyway, you screw it there, but this one, oh yeah, it broke. It just like pops right off. And that just doesn't seem very sanitary to me. And I mean, I didn't mean to pop it off. Just one day I went to like unscrew it and the whole thing popped up, and it did it with both of these. So I feel like there is a packaging like malfunction with these. I got these right when they released, so maybe it was just with that initial release that they had that malfunction. Because I remember when I got the package, one of them had popped off like in shipping, but I figured it was just because of the roughness of shipping. But these are the only 2 I kept because they were, worked for my skin tone, and both of them have done it since I got it. And I just feel like that's a huge bummer. I just don't know if they're sanitary anymore because I've accidentally popped both of these off many times. So I'm just gonna get rid of both of them. I don't know. I mean, it's a nice product. I like my Naked Skin concealer more, so I'm just gonna pass these along. Probably just toss them. Another product, kind of like a malfunction with the packaging, is this Physicians Formula Insta Ready Full Coverage Concealer. Now I bought this because it was kind of going around as a dupe for the MAC concealer because it had the same kind of packaging. It was in this little jar, and it had a little pump. Underneath this is where the pump is, but once again, it's popped off, and I cannot for the life of me get it to snap back in so that I can open to like get the pump. Every time I hear it snap, like it snaps closed, but then when I try to pry the lid off, the whole thing comes off instead of the lid. So, and even when I initially bought it, I noticed like it was really hard to get the cap off, like to pop the cap off so I could use the pump. So I just really don't want to mess with the packaging anymore. It just frustrates me that I cannot use the pump to save my life. I cannot open this cap and take this cap off so I can use the pump, and I just feel like with it being open, number one, my daughter's probably going to get a hold of it and then open it and fling it all over the place, and 2, I just feel like it's a little unsanitary. So while I like this product for the 1 month that I was able to use it, it's very nice, full coverage, lasts well, no complaints that I remember. I can't use it anymore, and it frustrates me that I only got like a month's worth out of this product before the packaging malfunctioned. So tossing. All right, so this is what we got left. Oh, this is also another Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I'm fairly certain it did the same thing. Yep, it pops right off. So going to put that with the others and just get rid of them. Okay, let's talk about this NYX Gotcha Covered Full Coverage Concealer. I bought this, I want to say like a year ago, so it's not that, less than a year ago, sorry, earlier this year. It's an extremely full coverage foundation and it's very like emollient. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't really like this. Someone said this was great for like a drugstore affordable concealer, but I honestly like either of these over this. It's just, it feels very thick on the skin and it just takes a while to settle in. It's a little bit dark for my skin, even though I bought it to use just for like acne spots, but I never reach for it just because I don't like it. So passing along, don't need to keep it. These are from Smashbox. It's their Studio Skin 24-hour waterproof concealer. These are really nice for the days when I want a really light feeling concealer under my eyes. It feels really light on the skin. Really does a good job brightening, no complaints. It does darken a little bit, so like when you apply it, it looks super bright. But I don't know if this was meant to like adjust to your skin tone or what, but it gets a little darker. So I know these look terribly light, but they work for my skin tone. But even with that said, I don't need two, so I'm going to keep the darker one because it works for my skin tone more, and pass the lighter one on. All right, this NARS one is in Custard. This was a fantastic concealer. I loved it, used it for a long time, and then just, I don't know, got out of the habit of using it, but it is very old, so I don't want to use it because I'm pretty sure this is like 2 years old. So it's just old. It's time to go. I'm pretty sure I got a good use out of it. Last time I pulled it out, it was looking a little dry. Like it didn't have as much product as it used to have, and you don't need to put something that old on your skin, especially for something that you're constantly opening and shutting and, you know, shoving bacteria into there. So gonna toss. All right, only 3 more to go. This is the Lorac Perfection Concealer. I want to say this is rather old too, and it's a little too yellow for my skin tone, I feel like. Like that's really yellow. It's light, but it's also very yellow. I don't know, I remember really liking this for a while. I guess it really works for my skin. I have a very yellow undertone. It's just, looking at it in the bottle, it was just like a scary yellow. I'm gonna keep this and put it into my rotation and try it, and if I find that I just don't care for it, or just looks way too yellow on my skin, I'll get rid of it at that point, but I'm gonna hold on to it for now. Okay, 2 more. Amazing Cosmetics Amazing Concealer. This is getting old. This is another one that's getting a little old, but I'm also gonna get rid of it because I didn't like how thick it was, and then not only was it thick, I mean, it gave you that coverage, but it's creased and cracked, and I don't know, I didn't like how it looked on my skin. It reminds me of like it wants to be the Bye Bye Under Eyes, but this just performs a lot better. This is just way too thick, and it just doesn't fade into the skin. Like I feel like when I apply it, even after I set it with powder and do my whole face, I feel like I can still see this concealer. Like, I don't know, just something about it. Every time I use it, I remember I never really liked the results that I got, so gonna pass it along. Last up is this LA Girl Pro Conceal. I bought this when it was kind of getting hyped around on Instagram, and I bought it on Amazon. I really should learn to stop buying, especially on Amazon, but stop buying color skin tone products on online, just because I can never get the skin tone right, because I bought this thinking it would be my shade, and I don't think you can tell on camera, but it is nowhere near my shade. It's very dark. Well, I mean, it's not very dark, but if I tried to use this to, I was buying it to brighten my under eyes, there's no brightening that would happen with this. But anyway, then I kept, I was like, well, maybe I can use it to cream contour. We've already been over that. I don't cream contour. This, I seriously don't think I've ever used this on my face, so I'm gonna pass this along. So I feel like I did really, really good. These are the products that I'm keeping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm keeping 10 concealers, and then I'm getting rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 concealers. I feel really good about that. Concealers was something I knew I had way too many, and I was only using basically this handful that I love. So there was no reason for that. So I feel really good about getting this out of my collection and then just organizing this and using this smaller pile that's much more manageable.